Catechism, and happy Easter. May you have a wonderful and peace-filled Easter season. I have here what I want to share with you first is my resurrection rock. This represents the stone that was pushed in front of the tomb, a symbol of death, and when we turn it around, life coming from the empty tomb, resurrection coming forth from death. I love this rock. I found it on the shore of Green Bay a long time ago, and we celebrate today the risen Lord. What I want to talk about today is the last of the periods of the RCIA. We've been talking about that all through Lent. And this last period of the RCIA is called the Mystagogia. It follows what transpired on Holy Saturday night when we celebrated the Easter Vigil. And so, first of all, we want to ask the question, why at the Easter Vigil? Don't we have enough going on? Is it not long enough of a service? At the Easter Vigil, we are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus. But we do more than that. People are going to get baptized, get confirmed, and receive their first Holy Eucharist. What better time to do that than on the very night when we celebrate Jesus rising from the dead? There is a very close, intimate connection between what happened to Jesus and what we do at baptism. Throughout the sacred Triduum, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, the Easter Vigil, we have walked through the death and resurrection of Jesus. What is baptism? Yes, it's a departure from original sin. Then what? It's the dying and the rising of Jesus. So what better time to act out what Jesus did? To die and rise with him on the very day we celebrate his rising from the dead. In the early church, the people went down into a pool, and it was very symbolic. Going down the stairs, they were dying with Jesus. Being submerged in the water, they were being buried with him. Coming up the steps on the other side, they were rising with him. A new white gown was put on them, and St. Paul says it so well. You have put on Christ. And so these people, through their baptism, have acted out personally the story of Jesus. So Easter is about what happened to Jesus, and that story of dying and rising continues to happen. That's why we shouldn't be singing Jesus has risen. It's always Jesus is risen. He's risen in these new people. And now, for the next 50 days, they will be in the period of Mystagogia. If you want a very common term for it, it simply means adult education. What are they going to be learning? They should be continuing to meet with their catechetical team. And what's going to happen, two things. They're going to process what they have gone through at the Easter Vigil. What touched them the most deeply? How did it feel to have the water poured on them, to be anointed with the oil, to receive Jesus in Eucharist? What in the whole liturgy meant the most to them? What about all the readings they heard? They need to take time to process that. This is a time of celebration. And during this time of celebration, where they will have a big party to end it all on Pentecost Sunday, but during this time, people are asked to invite these newcomers into your home, share a meal with them. And then the question is asked, how will you now serve the church? And they are invited into ministry. And for all of us who have gone through these sacraments, the question remains for us. What do we still need to learn? How are we meeting the risen Lord? How can we serve in the church today? And most of all, how are we continuing to die and rise with Jesus? Happy Easter.